Reddit Martian back with another tip-top video for you. r/AskReddit. What are some dumb purchases you made? I've bought a lot of how to kits books, like how to knit, how to calligraphy, how to paint, how to write poetry, etc. Have I learned how to do a single one of those things? No I have not. Edit, y'all thanks, but I am aware of the existence of YouTube, Google, and libraries. That would be why I'm saying they are dumb purchases, lol. I bought a faceless doll to scare people. Turns out I was the most scared one. Why is there a faceless doll in your closet? I bought it to scare people. Wait a minute. Why does it have Ray? Is this a snoo doll? I refuse to answer more questions. $400 fish tank lighting. I wasn't carpenter enough to build the hood to mount it. It sits in the basement as a monument of my idiocy. A cactus that lights up. A shirty mall katana. While I was on a date, no less. It was a first date. There was not a second. Edit, since many of you are requesting details. Here goes. This was close to 20 years ago. I was 19. I had just moved into a new apartment and thought mounting a katana on the wall would look mature and cool. It never made it up on the wall in any place I ever lived. I eventually sold it at a garage sale. Got $20 for it. The date wasn't going terribly up to that point, but it was also clear we weren't destined for a second date. I've never owned a fedora and thought I grew out of my nice guy / neckbeard tendencies by 10th grade. Maybe it was a last gasp attempt for those traits to manifest themselves. I hope she remembers it, preferably with a laugh. I certainly remember it. I have 3 boys, and they will definitely hear about it as a cautionary tale. It was a first date. There was not a second. Such is the way of the bleed. I traded a rather rare volume into a local used bookstore because I had 2 of them. Then went back to the bookstore a month later and excitedly bought my own book back because it was rare and I didn't think I owned it. I was wrong. Had a crush on a guy I barely knew who told someone else who told me that this guy was into dominant women. A few days later I dropped nearly $600 on bondage gear, an entire strap-on setup and what I imagined to be the dominatrix outfits. Everything arrived in the mail by a couple weeks later. I tried on everything, looked all manner of ridiculous and suddenly realized I had never planned beyond that point. I couldn't come up with any non-mortifying way to try to let this guy know that I was prepared to dominate him. Like, I couldn't even decide if it would be less ridiculous to pretend I had always had all this stuff and been into such things, or to admit I bought everything on the off chance that a near stranger I was infatuated with might be down for it. In the end I gave it all away to an elderly gay couple on Craigslist. That was my $600 value charity donation for the year. Wasn't even tax deductible, so you weren't dating him, or even knew if he liked you, but you were ready just in case, I guess. I think you win. Dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. I commissioned an artist to paint a portrait of my then girlfriend's dying pet rat. She had told me her rat was about to die a month before I got it. By the time it was ready, the relationship had ended and I didn't know what to do with it. I paid $90 for it and it was absolutely worth the price. Artist did an amazing job. I just didn't have anyone to give it to now. I ended up giving it to her anyway. I regret doing that since I probably just made her feel guilty. Thing is, I was fully aware we were about to break up. I just liked her so much and I was totally alone in a new state. I didn't think I was good enough to earn her love, so I tried to buy it. Real dumb. Those claw covers for cats to stop them from scratching up your furniture. They were ripped off the next day. He was gnawing at his little feet until everyone was gone. Kitten mittens. When I was 7, I saved up for a 1-foot-high porcelain Dalmatian from a department store. My pocket money was £1 a week. The dog cost £27. My mother still has it at her house. It's the kind of thing a 70-year-old would buy. I have no ducking idea what was going on in my head. Edit. I think it was ceramic, not specifically porcelain. Maybe as tall as 18 inches. This is the closest I could find. I was obsessed with getting it, and I never had buyer remorse. It's also so completely out of character. OMG, when I was in first grade, we got school bucks for good behavior and we could buy things with them at the school store once a week. One of those things was a ceramic bunny, and when it was my turn to buy something, I raced over to get that bunny so no one else would get it first. No one else was going for that bunny. After I thought about it, I was like, WTF was I so worried about? Anyway, the reason I wanted it so much was to give it to my mom as a gift, and she kept it for ages. Accidentally bought stuff in Clash of Clans. Twice. I knew a guy in high school who worked at Burger King part-time just to exclusively fuel his Clash of Clans addiction. He legit spent his entire checks on that game. Wonder how he feels about it now. $75 on plants only to let them die because I forgot about them. A house in 2007. It's still not worth as much as we paid for it. I went on a first date with the girl that I liked. We live in New Jersey and it was July, so obviously I took her to the boardwalk. While we were there I saw a vendor selling hermit crabs, and my dumb butt thought it would be funny to buy them as a joke and try to impress her. I then realized after spending $30 on 2 crabs, 2 because one would get lonely, that I needed a proper setup. So we went to PetSmart and got a tank, food, sand, and a log for them to play on. Long story short, I spent over $100 on hermit crabs and supplies. Not to mention that the girl completely friend-zoned me, which is okay because now I have my 2 crabs, pickles, and just to keep me company. Well, now you have a story about getting crabs on a first date. I bought an umbrella on a rainy day once from a cheap corner store that seemed like it was a hidden drug operation or something, and it broke that very day. Why would you buy an umbrella? They're free in that little tin can at coffee shops. Edit. Gold. Cool. Thank you. An ex broke up with me. She was the first person I dated and didn't really know how to navigate the breakup, so I bought her a really thoughtful gift for her birthday a month later. What a waste of money and time looking back on it. My first pack of cigarettes. Edit. Thanks for the gold and silver. Didn't expect this to blow up. Spent over $100 or more buying clothes for my avatar on a virtual reality game when I could have spent it on, you know, actual clothes. Looks nervously at all the games on Steam / good old games that I've bought but haven't played ever. The alcohol stove I've bought recently didn't work as well as I had anticipated. Getting home drunk and spending $15 on the Animal Crossing app. This has happened 3 times. My first time in Germany, I was only there for a few months, so I thought I don't need a barn card. I'm not here for a full year. Then I spent well over 1,000 euros on train tickets. The whole time I could have been saving 50% and collecting loyalty points. Bruh, there's so many better ways to approach this. Monthly tickets, half-year tickets, the barn card itself, and many other options. Lol. I used to buy Starbucks and or lunch for several co-workers multiple times a week. I was in an incredible amount of debt. Deciding to go to grad school in 2012, 5 years after graduating, for no other reason than I have no clue what to do with my life. This kills me every time I remember it, and it's honestly made me into the extreme money saver I am today. When I was younger, my family visited Niagara Falls. I had $50, which is a lot for a kid with no job, and was excited to buy some souvenirs. I spent it all on keychains. I only got like 6 of them, which made it to $50. They were all of the same place, too. It's not like they were from different cities. I wasted all the money I owned on freaking keychains. Who even uses those? It haunts me to this day. I bought a rare exotic cucumber from a guy who said it would give me good luck. Edit. Thank you so much for my first gold. Did it work? No, I got sick for a few days. Not me, but my mom. She surprised me with a pair of fancy basketball shoes for my birthday, even though I'd never expressed any interest in such a thing. And I was neither cool nor athletic. I bought them to scout camp a few weeks later and lost one of them in the mud. They were original, size 11 Air Jordans, in 1984 or 1985. I once spent $15 on a Postmates order for ice cream. One time I was so tucked on dabs I bought 5 pounds of gummy sharks online. Sober me was not stoked. Later high me was. Do you know what you are? That's right, you're a champ. Thanks for watching. Like and share if you enjoyed, don't forget the bell. Subscribe for more videos. See you soon, Martians.